Alright, it's September 1st, 2021, and I'm going to try opening my chicken coop door with the linear actuator the first time. So it's a little ironic that I'm standing in the rain waiting over a minute for a battery and a motor to open this door when I could just pull it out in one quick motion like I've been doing up until now. But today just happens to be the first test of the mechanics of what should be a fully automated coop door opener. Rain shouldn't be a problem for the motor. In this project, I had to learn a little bit about IP ratings. And it has a rating of IP54, I believe, which is not the best you can get, but it seemed like a good trade-off for the price point. And it's underneath the tarp, so I think it'll be okay. It'll be a little experiment. I think the motor might have freaked the chickens out. They waited a little bit. They're coming out now. There are a bunch of off-the-shelf products you can get that'll do the same thing. But when I started looking into this, it didn't seem like they were going to save me very much money. And I wanted the option to eventually computerize this. Here's the work in progress for the brains of the operation, driven by 2 timer circuits, a double relay, a solar panel through a solar charger. That all hooks up to the battery and the linear actuator motor. This design is based off of plans that I found online, which I will add a link to. The timers I expect to replace with something like a Raspberry Pi, but I thought that this would come together a little faster if I just followed the design as is, and I think that's turned out to be true. This really just took an afternoon of hooking things up once I had all the parts. And the sooner I can get this door automated, the sooner the birds can start enjoying their mornings a little bit earlier than I tend to wake up. Maybe once I finish this coop automation, I'll figure out a way to automate my coffee, but one thing at a time. Anyway, it's been a rainy day where I've been able to catch up on a lot of computer work. Now it's finally dry enough for me and the birds to hang out. So they like to run around for a little bit before it gets dark. And I use that time to check up on the coop, make sure they're all set for another day. At some point, maybe I'll even have a machine to fill this up for me and tell me when it's low. I wouldn't mind a machine to automatically refresh the water either, but what I would really like is something to scoop the poop. Like I said, one thing at a time, right? Anyway, here's a closer look at that linear actuator. It made it through today, so hopefully soon I'll get the rest of the electronics out here, and I won't have to bring a battery out twice a day to open and close it. And wouldn't you guys like that? Right now the birds get to walk around as much as they want and eat some bugs and some grass, and then they put themselves to bed pretty much. On the way back to bed, sometimes they like to hang out on this chair. Oop, there you go. Eventually they line up like the Von Trapp family and go to bed. So they were lined up for bed on the ramp, and it started raining a lot harder. And I would think that this would mean just go to bed sooner, but for them that means hang out. I don't know. You gonna go to bed? Come on. I think partly they don't trust the motor. It's a new thing. They don't get a lot of new things. Maybe everything's a new thing for them. Okay, Winky's my last holdout. So after the birds put themselves back in the coop, I closed the door by manually connecting the motor back to the battery, just like I opened it this morning, but with the leads reversed. I'm looking forward to setting up the timers because who wants to be out in this if you don't have to be? Some days it's great, but today I'd rather be inside. Anyway, I am happy to report that after a day of rain, the motor hasn't shorted out or broken, so that's a good sign. I'm still going to look into some ways to weatherproof it a little bit more, but I think I'm off to a good start with this project. Let me know if this is interesting, and I'll share more details as the rest of this project comes together. I'm also curious if anyone out there has any automation projects they've done for animals in their lives. Automated cat scratcher, automated dog scratcher, any kind of scratcher. Let me know.